Hello everyone, this is Demos, and welcome to a Raid Shadow Legends video. This video is going to be the first in the series of going over the changes I would make to the champions within each factions to make them more viable. I know I said I was going to do one video per faction, but I want to keep these videos a little bit shorter, 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm going to do a video for each rare, epic, and legendary. Especially when you start getting to factions that have, quite a few in each category. If we go over here to Undead, Undead has a good amount. Dark Elves, good amount. They're on the lower end. So we're going to do one for each rarity, and also, if you guys don't want to look at rares, you can just skip over it. So, without further ado, let's start. Okay, Crossbowman. Now, I want to make one thing clear at the beginning. This is for rares, so I'm going to keep in mind that this is for beginning to mid-game. Okay, the goal of a rare is to get you to that mid-game point. Because once you get to that mid-game point, you should be having a solid, solid amount of epics. Maybe a couple rares, but by the mid-game, you should have a solid roster of epics. So, with that in mind, he has really good attack for a rare. I do like that. Same with the speed. I would up this to a 25%. Just straight up. Make it a 25%. After that, you're really not going to be using him, level 10s, level 15 dungeons, not in the level 20s. He just does not have the stats for it. Make it a 25. I would just put this on him. I would not put it on a target ally. Target ally is nice. It really is, because it allows you to have more control. But the whole point of, him is to nuke down. So put it on him, and it grants him an extra turn, which will allow him to, do his A3 or do his A1. So just on himself. Blended Arrow. I like it. You can get it up to a 75% chance for both. When it comes to percent chances, I don't like oddball percent chances. I prefer 25, 50, 75, 100. There's 30s, there's 65s, there's 95s. Just leave it in increments of 25. It's a lot easier to code, number one. And number two, for the players, it's a lot easier to go into their head and be like, okay, I have a 1 in 4 chance, even though that's not really how it works, of stunning. Or I have a 1 in, 3 chance, or whatever. So 75, I like it. Decrease speed. It's useful, I guess. You can use it in Spider. You can use it in Fire Knight. Ice Golem and Dragon doesn't really do anything. But other than that, just 25% on himself. Moving on. Alright, Valerie attacks one enemy. This is actually very nice. I like, you can get a 2-3 turn cooldown and increases the duration of buffs. Also gives her an increased attack. I love this ability. It's really good. If you're having trouble in Clan Boss keeping your buffs, maybe give her a go. Good speed, man defense and attack, but she's a rare. What's her aura? I'm not really going to worry too much auras on rares. They're rares. Attacks an enemy 3 times, it's fine. Here we go. 60%. And it's, make this a 50% chance. Decrease attack is fine. And get this to a 10 and a 15. Make it a 75% chance. 3 turn cooldown, it's a decrease attack, it's the lower end. We don't need these oddball numbers. And, here's a 75. Not consistent. You need consistency. That's really all I would change. Really good speed, though. Other thing is, If it's an HP champion, make these things based off of that HP. If it's a defense champion, defense, attack, attack. Supports, those are kind of hard. You have to kind of go off their abilities. Let's see, can get this up to 40% chance. I would change these two to 10%. Get it up to a 50. There you go. The next part is provoke if the target has higher HP than this champion. I'm not too big a fan of that, but for a rare, you know, I'm just not a fan of if it's higher or lower, because that's too situational. All right, attacks all enemies, 60% chance that you can book up to a 7 or an 80. Bring that down to a 55. Make it a 75% chance. 3-turn cooldown, decrease attack. Or if you want, put this up to a 75. It's decrease attack. Early game decrease attack is useful, but as you get to the late game, decrease attack isn't really too impactful. You want decreased defense and weaken. 4-turn cooldown, ally protection, continuous heal. Yeah, that's fine. I would just change those things. Reserver, 15% chance that you can get up to a 25. It's a 2-hitter. Yeah, she has good speed, so you should be able to get that no problem. She is defense based. Again, change that to defense. Come on. 3-turn for a continuous heal and a shield, proportional to this champion. That's very solid. She has actually really good HP for a rare, so that's not too bad. 100% chance to do a freeze debuff, 4-turn cooldown. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything else on her. What do we have? Lower end of speed, really low HP, but he is an attack base with solid amount of attack. So, 25% freeze, that's not bad. 35% chance of removing a debuff. Put that as a 20. It's a 3-hitter, 25%. There you go. Has a 33% chance. Come on, just make even nice numbers. This is silly. Attacks all enemies twice, 25%. 25% chance, there you go. 4-turn cooldown. Bombardier, 15%. Make it 25% chance. He attacks once, 25% chance, increasing all debuffs. This would actually make him really nice in Clan Boss. Not in the later levels of Clan Boss, because his stats won't keep him alive, especially his defense. Like his health, but his defense, no. The only time this would come into play is if you're doing an unkillable. At a 25% chance, that's just not reliable enough for an increase in debuffs. So, if this attack is critical, if that's the case, up his crit. That's my thing. If they're requiring the attack to do something extra, if it's critical, you need to up their crit rate. For a rare, I'd say 5%. If it's an epic, I would say 10, legendary 15. It's just because now I have to turn around and I have to specifically build for crit rate, and you know, if I'm trying to keep him alive, that makes it really hard. 75% chance for placing poison. Okay, I mean, it's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Alright, let's see. Text one enemy. 20%. Get up to a 40. I've been saying it. Decrease accuracy really isn't that great anyway, so I would change this to like a decrease attack or defense. It's just... it's not as useful. Decrease speed is a little bit more useful, but that's against like specific dungeon bosses. Decrease accuracy, most dungeon bosses are going to do their special abilities and apply their debuffs regardless. So otherwise, good speed, solid stats. One thing to note about these stats is they are at 6 stars. Most rares will not be going to 6 stars. Just keep that in mind. 3 turn block debuffs and increased defense on this champion. Yeah, I mean, maybe do it to where it's all champions for 1 turn and a 30%. Excuse me. I don't like this. If it has less than 50%, it'll ignore defense. Just have it ignore 25% defense, or not even worry about it since it's a rare. Just get rid of it. It's on a 6-turn cooldown. Maybe throw in a couple lower cooldowns to get this maybe to a 5 or 4 turn, and just HP. I would just get rid of that part. 2 times, it's fine. That's actually really good, especially on a 2-turn cooldown. Really nice for ice columns beginning. So I wouldn't really change too much on him. He's attack based, nice attack, good speed. Let's see. 50% chance for a weekend. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, I wouldn't really change anything too much on him. He has good speed. Maybe take 100 from here and add 50 to his attack. Maybe, if that. Otherwise, he's solid. Wouldn't change anything. Give him a 25%. Give him a 25%. 50% chance up to a 75. That's fine. 3-turn cooldown. Yeah. That's the only thing. Just make it 25% chance. Good speed. Yeah. Vanguard. This right here. If the target's defense is lower than this champion, once you start getting to like level 5 dungeons, this isn't going to do diddly. It really isn't. You're going to have to specifically take out like their nukers if you're going through just the trash mobs. And that's, you know, if you're trying to auto, that's just not going to work. So just 25, maybe a 50%. Well, it is the 50% chance for a 30% decreased defense on one enemy. Get rid of that. And again, this is annoying. Plarium, if you're watching this, please change this on your champions. He is a defense champion. Make it off of defense. I am not going to build him off attack. It's silly. Alright. Okay, so when you need a debuff to, to get a provoke or a stun or a sleep or anything like that, then you need to make sure that they can reliably place that debuff. Okay? Also, you have to understand that his AI is probably going to prioritize his A2 first, because it's going to try and put the provoke debuff, but it's not going to be able to do that if they don't have a decreased defense. So you need to make it to where they can reliably place the decreased defense. And the provoke, I would have it to where it has 25% chance to place a provoke, 50% if they're under a decreased defense. That's what I would change. Passive, it's a pretty nice passive actually. Stats are pretty solid. Maybe increase the defense a little bit. Steadfast Marshal. 50% chance you can get it up to a 75 of placing a provoke if the target's max HP is lower than this champion. Again, alright, yes, he has 20k HP, which is really good for a rare. It is. but you're not going to be getting them to 6-star. 4, maybe 5. So once you start hitting level 5s, a lot of the enemies are going to have more HP. They're going to have more attack, more defense. So just get rid of, if it's max HP is lower, get rid of that. 50% chance of putting a provoke. It's a one-hitter. Leave it at that. If he's a rare and you don't want the rare to be too powerful, bring it down to a 25%, book it up to a 50. There you go. That's solid. Get it to a 3-turn. You basically have it as a 2-turn. Yeah. This is nice. Helps protect your entire team. So I would just change as A1. So that is the rares. This is about a 15-16 minute video. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you agree, great. If you think that certain things need to change, maybe I was a little too zealous in upping the rares. The one thing to keep in mind about their rares is their stats. Their stats are generally a lot lower. You're not going to be getting them to 6 stars for the most part. Most rares are not going to get up to 6, maybe 5, but not 6. So that's where their abilities have more weight because their stats are going to be considerably lower. So I just want to keep that in mind. Otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for epics and legendaries for the Bannerlords, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.